Everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey everybody, Cantonese Cat here. This is a monthly chart of DraftKings. I want to share with you in terms of my thoughts about DraftKings, in terms of where I think it would go, whether or not we're hitting some pretty major resistance here, whether or not the news that came out earlier this week about the NCAA, whether or not that has any implications in terms of stock prices moving forward, and what I'm thinking in terms of the trend. So first of all, you just look at it. It doesn't take a expert in technical analysis to be able to tell you that right now you're a very, very nice bull trend. It's making a very nice V-shaped recovery. It's kind of made a little bit of a double bottom down here with a lot of very nice fork and tweezers down here. Has been just kind of making higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. Price has been very, very impulsive. It just kind of did like a rising three methods here, where there's a big green candle here with a bull flag over here. Bears span about 3 weeks, unable to break underneath this candle over here. You can see the sell volume has really significantly declined. Next thing you know, you have a big giant green candle that follows soon afterwards. And after that, you have a little bit of bull flag over here too, and you have a very nice bullish, engulfing candle on the monthly here, and price just been kind of going up ever since then. Right now, we're hitting a little bit of key resistance up here. As you can see, there's a lot of price history that's been done around here at the top of around 2020, 2021. And you can also see this pretty significant amount of volume there over here, that where the stock has traded hands. You can also see the volume for each price where the stock has traded hands is also pretty significantly concentrated up here. So we're hitting a lot of resistance up here. It's not surprising that we're going to have a little bit of a pullback, if you will, or some sideways action, if you will, considering the fact that price really has just gone within like about 13, 14, 15 months, all the way from the teens all the way up to the 40s. And we even hit like close to 50. So it's completely understandable that you're hitting some key resistance up here. A lot of price history has been happening up here, and a lot of volume show has been happening up here. So completely understandable. Now let's look at a couple other indicators to kind of give you an idea. One's to look at the Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is still expanding, up and down. Although the downwards is kind of slowing down here a little bit, but it's still expanding upwards. So it's going to give enough room for the price to potentially continue to go up. And the other thing about the Bollinger Band is also shows you the 20-month moving average down here, and it's also very, very nicely curled up. It's also very exponentially going up as well. And because of this, I still think that this is a longer-term bull trend that had just started about 8 or 9 months ago. And it's just recently reaccelerated after this bull flag is done just about 5 months ago. So there's quite big of a chance that this will continue to keep on going up, because the upper Bollinger Band is expanding, allowing the price to go up higher, and because of how much acceleration the 20-month moving average has been going up. There's really so far not really any like true trend exhaustion. I'm not really seeing any, true bearish divergence here on the monthly based on RSI. So there's a good chance that this will be continue to just keep on going up and up. It doesn't mean that it's not going to stop somewhere in on the way to take a breather to kind of get some resistance kind of sorted out. I do not think that the monthly candle is too far away from the upper Bollinger Band. If anything, is kind of closing within it, so I still think there's plenty of room for it to go up. With that said, it doesn't hurt for it to kind of consolidate here to build up an even healthier bull trend moving forward. I can see it possibly consolidating for like another couple months right underneath over here at this big volume shelf down here before its bullish continuation. So that's one way to kind of look at it. The other way to look at it is to pull out the Ichimoku cloud. You can also see that you had a very nice bullish cross that happened back about 4 months ago in December. And since then, you have a very nice bull trend. Tenkan line right here is the leading. Kijun line right here is the lagging. The Tenkan is really just step casing upwards here. So it's going to provide very, very good support on the way up. But as you can see, if price gets a little bit far from the monthly Tenkan, it tends to want to correct and get closer to Tenkan and use it as support to push the price up higher. That happened over here, right? A little bit too far out from the Tenkan. Went back down, back tested Tenkan, found support, bounced. The same thing happened here. A little bit too far, went sideways, back tested, bounced. We're getting a little bit far from the Tenkan, so I can imagine it going sideways for maybe a couple months or so before going up. One very positive development, though, is looking at the Ichimoku Cloud. The price of this stock is still relatively new. I mean, it didn't really start IPO until 2019 in July, so you're not going to have like a full Ichimoku Cloud, although a cloud is starting to be developed over here. But the cloud's usually delayed in terms of showing up. Right now, I think it's already past this, kind of the beginning of the cloud right here, and it kind of back tested it as support. So I can imagine it kind of goes sideways here for a little bit here for maybe a couple months before its bullish continuation. It can even form a little bit of a bull flag, maybe down here, maybe a couple candles down here, back test the cloud, put in an even more solid foundation. And you can also see there's a little bit of volume shelf down here too. It can potentially back test the bottom of the volume shelf down here, maybe around 40 or so, maybe even lower before going up. But so far the trend is very bullish. I think it's just, buying volume is just kind of getting exhausted a little bit. Price just kind of a little bit too far from the monthly Tenkan, even though it's still within bullish band. I think it's reasonable for you to expect kind of sideways action here for a couple of months before its bullish continuation before going up. That's the monthly chart here. If you look at the banker fund, this tells you how impulsive this trend has been in terms of whale inflow. The whale's just been putting more and more and more fund really in ever since really beginning of 2023, and since then the inflow has not really stopped. It's just been kind of going exponential. So I do think because the whales have been entering pretty significant here, and the trend is just going up and up, even if there's any significant sideways, potentially even like a little bit of a bull flag down to the high 30s to 40 or something like that, I still think it's probably end up just going to build up a stronger base for further bullish continuation. So far it's looking good. I do have a small position. I'm just going to keep holding. I'm not really seeing anything that's really getting me concerned here at the monthly here. Looking at a little bit of the weekly chart here, you can see this is clearly forming higher lows and higher highs all the way up here. And so far you're getting some rejection here at the volume shelf, which is completely expected. This volume shelf has a lot of price history over here. A lot of people who bought up here may be looking to sell, and you have a lot of supply here potentially that it has to kind of spend maybe a couple months for it to eat through, and it might even bounce back down to the volume shelf below before further bullish continuation. But so far there's nothing really concerning or alerting or anything that's really stood out to me to get scared about. I just want to show you that. The other thing is you can also look at the weekly moving averages. You can see 20 is at the orange here, blue is 50, black is 100. They're all pointing up, they're all stacking the right way. This is a very, very nice weekly bull trend. When you see something like that, it could potentially last for a while. This is something that just happened. The full bull trend, with 20 over 50 over 100, it just happened around September of last year. It's only been a few months, and it could potentially keep going up for quite some time. So I'm seeing a lot of pretty positive signs here. I'm going to just keep holding. There's potential again, for it to price kind of drop down here to kind of back test this 20-week moving average. This is complete bull market behavior here. Matter of fact, if you add the bull market support band, which generally is a very good way to visualize that it's a bull trend. If the sun is pointing up, the band generally serves as support to push the price up further. Occasionally, it just needs to kind of back test it before further bullish continuation. So there's a potential for it to go sideways, back test it a little bit maybe in the future, and then but the general overall trend is still up. So I'm not really that concerned about any potential short-term volatility here. If you look at the Ichimoku Cloud on the weekly chart, the Ichimoku Cloud shows you that the Tenkan serves as very, very nice support. Occasionally in bull market, it can potentially backtest the Kijun down here as well, the blue line, but the Tenkan itself could potentially serve as support and push price higher. There is a potential for it to back test the high 30s though, or maybe even like 40, depending on whether or not Kijun is able to kind of continue to push back up higher to serve as support. But I do expect having some pretty decent support underneath by the bull market support band, by the Tenkan here, as well as by the Kijun here if needed, as well as having a lot of volume shelf support down here. So can price correct further than expected? Can it go back down and test the cloud up here? And that's certainly a possibility, right? But even if it does do that, the overall trend is still, considered to be bullish. But if it end up coming back to the cloud, if it doesn't give you a very, very impulsive bounce afterwards, then it does get a little bit more concerning. But we're not quite there yet. Things do look pretty bullish. I think we're just feeling a little bit of resistance here. And the news from the NCAA may be real in terms of the stock prices, but I have a feeling that some people might already knew that ahead of time, and they've already positioned their trades ahead of time. I always find that these things are these narratives are just coming out at the right time or the wrong time, if you will. So I'm not going to put too much weight on that. The overall trend is bullish. There's nothing on this chart that gets me scared about it. Anyway, thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye.